bit chilly tonight, isn't it?
Is it?
You might say it's
The
coldest night. So I did say to you next.
We were completely off.
We were totally off, but we didn't rehearse any of this. I literally literally just went with this. So this is the coldest night. I did promise you the next game we play wouldn't be about digging your way out of somewhere, so I did fulfill the promise there. So this was a game that was sent to us, a review copy. So thank you very much for Indie boards and cards for this. The general idea of this game. Do you know anything about it?
No, there's a fire on the box.
There's a fire on the box. So we are people stranded in the wilderness here. We have basically got to last the evening.
Okay.
I just watched Everest the other day, where people were like freezing on mountains and stuff. Spoilers. So this is quite real for me at the moment. I watched that film and then afterwards realised it's based on a true story. I was like, oh my god, this is awful. So this kind of really hits home from the moment, freezing to death. So hopefully that won't happen to us.
I mean, it's not something that you can like personally identify with.
Oh, I really can't. It looked horrible. I don't want that to happen to us. So maybe I'll.
Would you recommend the Everest film?
Well, we're not a film review channel, but I'd say definitely check that out.
Okay.
I was surprised.
Okay.
But so that's it. Thank you for watching. And, but yeah, so we're going to get the coldest night to the table and tell you what we think. So we have set up the coldest night. And by we, I mean I. What? Okay, so would you like to do the honours of reading the blurb for this? So this is give you a good idea of the setting of this game.
The coldest night. The sky goes white as the blizzard rolls in. Luckily, you managed to find shelter in an abandoned lodge before the storm overtook you. I can see you out of the corner of my eye. It's really throwing me off. However, night is falling and the cold is coming in quick. The lodge is dilapidated and full of the remnants of someone else's life, but you'll need all the kindling you can find to keep your fire going, or else you won't survive till sunrise.
There we go. So we are playing cards from our hand to try to kindle this fire. And we've got to get through this entire deck. Otherwise, we freeze to death. Just because clearly you people know I've played this before. We've played this once before. Played wrong. So this is a first impression video. This isn't a review. This is us giving it a go and giving you an idea what this game's about because it's pretty fun. So we're going to be playing cards from our hand, and what we need to make sure is that the ash value of the card that we're playing is equal to or less than the total amount of heat that's currently in the fire. So at the moment we've got a 7 in there, so I could play the rags, but next turn the heat would be going down 1.
Yeah.
Down to 1 even. So, first player.
Okay.
Seos.
I'm going to play tablecloth.
So, a tablecloth has been played.
So then get rid of the match. And then...
Is there less than 3 cards?
No.
Then you don't have frostbite. You can draw a kindling card.
Brilliant.
Okay, so the fire is currently at 3, 6, 7, 8. So I'm going to put a hunting trophy in at this point. So the newspapers are gone. And I don't have frostbite, so I draw.
Okay. I am going to play a hollow book, and because the heat total is over 7, yes?
Yep.
I gain a key, a cabinet key.
A cabinet key. What does it say on the other side of the cabinet key?
Draw 1 card.
Oh, so you can play at any point to do that.
Oh, okay.
So draw back up to your
1
thing.
card.
And if you want to use your cabinet key. Oh yeah, sorry, the logs are gone.
I feel like I should save that.
Okay, cool. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6. This fire is going down. We're at 6 at the moment, so I'm going to chuck the portrait in just because this is the highest card I've got at the moment. So the portrait's gone into the fire. Somebody's, relative. Something meant a lot to the people who owned this cabin.
I'm sorry, they shouldn't have abandoned it. Yeah.
Well, it's really cold in this area, so that's probably why. Your turn.
So windows are like...
the heat is 5.
The heat is 5. Oh. I'm going to get rid of that.
The worn paperback, and what's it saying?
So It says remove the card with the highest heat value from the fire pit instead of the rightmost card. But seeing as most of our cards are 2, then I didn't think that was a major...
Correct. That's the best time to use that, I think. So which one are you going to get rid of? The hunting trophy.
And then I'm going to draw one.
Okay, cool. So our fire value is currently 5.
Oh, I've got one.
And I'm also going to add a family portrait, which is unfortunately going to get rid of one of the highest ones. So the family portrait's gone in, it's got rid of the other portrait.
Okay.
Yep. Oh, I've got a nice one. I need it to be hotter, please.
Hotter?
Yes.
I can do hotter.
I can't give you numerical values, but it needs to be hotter.
Well, I can't do much more than a 3. But hopefully
that's
it'll
perfect.
be all right.
That's perfect for me.
Rid of that.
So you just you've torn the floorboards up now and thrown it onto the fire.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Needs must, Adam. Needs must.
Right, in that case, I watch you do this, so I'm like, fair enough. We're at 7, so I'm gonna take off the banister. So a chunk of banister's come off. I've chucked it in there. We're now cooking with gas. Now we're at 9.
Nice. Oh.
Please do keep it at least where it is at the moment. Keep the fire going if you can, if that's possible.
Okay, I'll keep it going. So I'm gonna get rid of a mirror frame, ripped it off the wall. Had seen better days anyway. I don't feel.
Was it broken before you got to it? Do you think?
Doesn't matter, does it? It's all kindling now.
Okay. Excellent. Thank you for that, because I'm going to chuck an end table in now. The heat total is at least 9, so I gain the seller key.
Nice.
Which allows me to draw 2 cards.
2 cards?
Draw 2 cards to the seller key. There's lots down there.
Well. Okay. Did you discard?
And the floorboards have gone.
Okay. I feel like we're cooking on gas right now. Cooking on gas even. And it's all gonna go a bit wrong in a minute.
Yes.
I feel like it's all just. But I'm gonna try and keep the fire hot.
Okay.
How many have we got? 4,
so at the moment, we've got 10.
So I'm gonna throw in a nightstand that I found. Doesn't matter if there's anything in it. And it goes.
Okay. I'm gonna have to chuck a teddy bear in now.
Okay.
The fire's gone right down now. You would have thought of throwing a teddy bear on there, the stuff that's inside it would have kept the fire going, but...
Well, I'll try and get rid of the dictionary. All those words.
Okay.
Who needs to be able to spell properly?
That's right. I'm gonna have to go for rags at this point.
For goodness sake.
Which is really
not doing me any favours here.
It's not.
How many have we got? We're at...
So when you're drawing a card next, you're going to be placing that immediately onto there.
Well, I can't use that. So I'm going to...
You've got that key. You could draw...
No, I don't want... I want to use this and gain that.
Go for it.
Yeah, 6. Yeah, okay. So I'm getting rid of my leather satchel and I'm going to gain some lighter fluid.
Okay, so the teddy bear goes.
Ooh.
You then draw the 5...
When is this? When can I use this?
At any point, the tokens, over the course of the game, you can gain lucky find tokens through bonus on kindling cards. When you gain a lucky find token removed from the supply, a lucky find token can be used any player, regardless of who played the card to gain it. Every lucky token can be used at any point in any player's turn without restriction.
Okay, lovely.
And once you use it, it's gone.
Yeah.
So when this guy comes into play,
yeah.
Add immediately to the fire pit in the leftmost position. If this makes it the 4th card in the fire pit, immediately remove the rightmost card from the fire pit and discard it.
Oh no.
So it's really gone down. So we have a heat of 2 at the moment.
Okay, well I have to draw a card. Okay. And then
I'm good.
You're good, okay.
I'm
then.
good.
You're
So some old curtains that were just hanging around.
Oh, nice.
I'm chucking them in because that's actually, I'm going to be 2, gives me a 3. So we're on 4 now at the moment.
Lovely. 4.
Yeah. Oof. Now all the cards I have now are stuff that I have to burn an additional card.
You have to burn
Burn an additional thing out of there, which means we're going to have...
How do you mean, sorry?
So you've got the burn one. If you play this card, you've got to remove an additional card from the right of the fire pit.
Oh, okay.
So that's frostbite times. Because not only have you got to
Okay.
get rid of everything in that deck, you have to get everything rid of your hand as well.
I am going to play this lovely bit of lighter fluid, and I'm going to gain +2 heat to
Okay.
the fire. Okay?
Nice.
So that brings us up to 6.
It does indeed.
Yeah. And then I'm going to play the cane, and then I can remove a card of my choice from the fire pit instead of the rightmost card, and I'm going to get rid of
Nice.
this little
So-and-so.
so-and-so, yes. And then I'm going to draw up.
Okay, at this point, I'm going to play the seller key to draw 2 cards for the start of my turn because I'm not in a great position. So, what's our heat at the moment? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, needed 1 more. So I'm going to put the blinds in instead. Some not so fun cards here, is there?
Well, yeah. Not great, is it? I'm going to play rotten floorboards because I'm hoping they're going to be able to help us out, because if the heat total is 4 or 5, which it is, gain an alcohol.
Okay. What's the alcohol give us?
+1 heat while in fire.
Okay.
Do I have to play it against a card then?
So
That
the
wouldn't
alcohol,
imply that.
no, the other stuff, the alcohol
Sorry,
special,
I'm gonna
you
draw.
attach this token to a kindling card in the fire pit. As long as the card is in the fire pit, its heat value is 1 higher.
So attach it to a card.
Yeah. Whereas the lighter fluid is just a one-time only
Yeah.
thing.
Shall I?
Okay, my turn.
Yeah.
Photographs. So I have to remove the greatest one in here, which is going to be this one anyway. It's getting chilly, and I've got very high ash values now.
I am going to attach this to the photograph.
Okay, so we've still got 2, 3, 4 at the moment.
Okay, and then I'm going to also draw 1 card.
Okay, so using the cabinet key, what do you find in the cabinet?
Shoes. And then I'm going to draw.
No, you're going to play
No,
a
I'm
card?
going to play.
Or search. Scavenge even.
Yeah, but I won't do that. I hate Adobe 3. Okay. So I have to play shoes. Burn 1. Remove an additional card from the right of the fire. Ah.
So it means we're going to be down two cards.
Perhaps I will scavenge. I don't know. What do you think?
I don't know either.
Because it's the only card I can play, so I can scavenge, but then we'll be down 1 anyway, won't we?
Yeah. So when there's less than 4,
Mm-hmm.
you can play additional cards. So obviously if you're going to play a burn 1 now, there's going to be 2 cards gone.
Mm-hmm.
So you could play an additional card. On my turn I could play additional cards too.
But only if you have a heat value, the ash value.
Yeah.
Which, will you? Because that's 3, 4. I feel like
Yeah.
you shouldn't probably, you can
I
do.
will, but it'll be burn 1s again, so I'll get some frostbite as well. So we'll get to see what the frostbite cards are doing.
Lovely, okay, let's play shoes. So we get rid of these 2.
Yeah. Now we check for
Do I draw?
frostbite. Not yet. So check for frostbite. So we've got frostbite, which means Okay, so draw a card from the Frostbite deck and place it facing in front of you. And it's immediately effective. What's it say?
Numbing fingers. Your boons do not trigger.
So your boons are gain, if, and target.
What?
So if you have gain, if, and target on there, on your cards, they won't affect you.
Oh, okay. I haven't heard boon being used except for in Wave Kings.
So the way you get rid of this
Okay.
is if the heat value of the fire equals that,
Okay.
it goes.
Okay.
It's not going to be.
You never know. Oh, now do I draw?
Now you draw a card, yeah.
Okay. And I have 4 in my hand, but that's just because of thingy.
Oh, God.
Oh! I've got something. Not especially good, but I've got something. Oh dear, what are you going to do to us, Adam?
Tree branches.
Okay, remove an additional card from the right of the fire.
So, the fire dwindles. I get frostbite from this, and I have got violent shivering. You cannot play kindling cards with even heat values. I'm fairly certain we've lost at this point. So, Seos.
So, I'm going to do couch upholstery because I can. And it's the only thing I can do right now. But I gain...
No, you don't, because you do not get boons because of numbing fingers. So, no, you don't.
I should have just scavenged then, shouldn't I?
No, because the fire would have gone out,
Oh, okay.
right? Yeah, you can't do both.
Okay, so... What now then?
Have you got any other cards you can play to that?
No.
But you've got a value of 4 now.
I'm a
Okay.
5, 6, 7 ash value.
Yeah, all my ash values are too high for this. So,
But then I guess that's why it's kind of the second round, right?
draw a card. Did you? Ready?
No. Do I not need to do frostbite?
Yes, you do. Sorry, go for it. What's your frostbite this time?
Loss of feeling. So I have numbing fingers, and then I've lost my feeling. So the ash value of every kindling in your card is considered 1 higher, which is just fantastic. Okay, now I draw. I think I'm done here, Adam.
Yeah, I think I'm done too. I can't, there's nothing I can really play here. And I don't think once you scavenge, yeah, I don't think you can scavenge and do that. So, yeah. Yeah, I can play something, but...
But something that's not going to be good for us, right?
So oil painting, which means I'm going to have to burn an additional card, which means both those cards are gone.
And
Which I believe is the end of the game at that point.
Okay.
Yeah, if it has 0 cards in it, you won't make it through the night. So, unfortunately, I chucked the oil painting in, hoping they'll keep us going through the night, but the oil's run into the fire, and it's the wrong kind of oil, so we die. We were frozen to death. So
Great.
we only had all of this to get through. So that was the coldest night. Did you feel like that was the coldest night
I
you've
mean,
ever had?
not the coldest night I've ever had, but that was pretty damn cold, especially when frostbite started coming out.
Started kicking in, didn't it? Right, okay.
Okay.
Well, we're going to get this packed away, and by we I mean I, and then we'll meet you at the settee to tell you our thoughts. So we have just played. Sorry, was that too loud for you? It's quite loud, isn't it? It's very loud.
My ear.
So we've just played
The Coldest Night.
Let
me finish my tea with you.
So we've just finished The Coldest Night. Shows are warming up with a brew there. And we failed. I mean, we got past the first dwindling fire card, and then we were probably about halfway through until the next one, and things just started going bad. You got numb fingers, and then
Loss of sensation.
Yeah. And I can't even remember what happened to me.
I don't know.
Brain freeze.
No, it was shaking fingers or something. You couldn't. No, wasn't it like
violent shaking?
Violent shaking.
So I couldn't play even numbered cards.
So we froze to death.
So here we are, in spirit, because we're dead. And yeah, I just went out straight like some of the people in that Everest film. So feel sad about that. Spoilers, indeed. This isn't a review video. Just firing that out there. It's not a review. This is our first impressions video to this. We will probably, once lockdown is finished, I'll get together with the other die rollers and go, hey guys, Seos and I played this game probably 90% correctly. Let's give it a go and review this. Because this is definitely one I'd like to play with more players. Yeah. See how it go? Because I mean, playing with you is all right, but no, like it's one of those games like I've played and I feel like, oh, I quite enjoyed this. I'd like to see what other players would bring to the table with this. So I just feel like I'm just waffling on here. Let's talk about components.
Components.
So, Josephine, what did you think to the components?
I always have to start.
Well, you didn't. You didn't. Last time we did a video, I was like, oh, I'll do it.
Let's have a look. Pass me over the box.
Let's get the box.
Okay.
So.
Right. Sorry, I just came towards the camera, but it's because I was putting my cup of tea down.
Okay.
I'm never going to be able to finish it.
So, lovely box lid here. I think the artwork in this is pretty cool.
It is nice. Yeah. So, components, I think it's good. There's not a huge amount of things to worry about. There's a couple of sets of decks.
You've got a couple of decks of cards.
Decks of cards, yeah. So, I quite like. So these are all. This is all kindling. So I'm just gonna.
Yeah, you go for it.
So these are different things that you can put on the fire, and you can see they both have a burn value and an ash value. You can explain that. Yeah.
So hopefully we explain it in the gameplay video if you watched it.
Oh yeah, no, that's true.
But yeah, your ash value is basically the value that you can only put those cards down if the value of your ash value is equal to or less than the current heat value of all the cards that are currently out on the table. We found that we started off okay, but then it soon escalated and spiraled out of control.
Yeah, I think that summarised it really well, actually. And except that it didn't escalate and spiral out of control; it just dwindled and died. Yeah, but no, I think the cards are really nice. They all look pretty good,
and they're nice. They're a decent quality card as well. Like you could shuffle them for some time and not worry about them kind of wearing. And
so. Yeah, I quite like the artwork, really.
So yeah, you've got your different cards. Yeah. You've got some tokens as well in this as well. Like a handful of different tokens, just chucking them all over the place. Which it's good because they've got on the back of them exactly what they do. So
you got blanket and you discard one frostbite. My hands are in there.
Yeah, this is what it says. But yeah, so you do have it's nice that you've not got to go back to the rulebook to see exactly what that is. Yeah. We did in one instance for the alcohol, but I mean it's all fairly easy stuff.
I think it's all pretty straightforward, isn't it? The one thing, and this is really nitpicking.
Oh, nitpick alert!
But it kind of bothered me, and this again, like I say, it's really nitpicking. But I don't feel like the Frostbite cards and the artwork from Frostbite and the search deck kind of match from a style point of view. If you look, and I know, like I say, it's really nitpicky, but it was something that kind of jumped out at me straight away. This is like the back of the deck, if that makes sense. So
what would you like? Just to see somebody half frozen on there or something?
No, but maybe
blue flame?
or blue hands, or your fingertips going cold or something like that. I don't know.
So just show what you do have on the.
Oh, sorry, I thought I'd already.
On the other side though.
Oh yeah. So it tells you what exactly.
Oh, so you were saying, sorry, I thought you meant the pictures. There should be a picture on here showing you what the issue was. But you're saying the back of this should have been.
Yeah, and I know, like I say, I know that's really what do you think? Looking at them, do you see what I mean?
No, I see what you mean. With the two different kind of artwork there, I guess you could have had something
this is
with
getting
that.
A lot of artwork here.
I guess you could have had something with that kind of graphic.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's perfectly fine because you know what that deck is, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, maybe with a blood splatter on there. Oh, it's not the thing. Sorry. Yeah, so you get those, and you also get a rule book, which is like a sheet of rules here, which is perfectly fine. There's
I
nothing
feel
wrong
like
with that.
it was quite straightforward as well, because I read like the first couple of steps and I felt like I understood a lot of it.
Yeah. So gameplay wise, was this an easy to learn kind of game?
Yeah.
Do we have many questions in this when we were playing?
I don't think so. It was just a couple of questions about like when would you draw a frostbite card, because there was a bit of a query about whether it was at the end of each player's turn or at the end of the round.
Yeah, we weren't quite sure about when the fire dwindled at first, were we? Whether like we both took a turn and then the fire dwindled, but then reading the rules properly, yes, it does happen at the end of every player's turn.
Which we don't do very often.
Well, I definitely don't. I get an interpretation of the rules.
Yeah.
But yeah, I reckon by the end of that, we're playing that around 90% correctly.
I think so. And then we
maybe
failed.
Even 100%, and we failed.
Yeah.
Which is I always find is a good sign of a good cooperative game where you fail.
Yeah.
Because I think if it's too easy, then there's no challenge there, and a cooperative game should have a challenge to it.
Because we've only played this once, and I'd quite like to go back and see whether we could win with it and see how tricky it would be. Because I think the first time you play anything, you're not really playing with like tactics, are you?
No, you're just trying to get through.
Yeah, but I'd quite like to go back and see, how much work do I need to put in to actually win
this.
Yeah.
Which is kind of like why you go back to the mind so much, right? When we play the mind, it's one of those games where you keep going back to because you're like, oh, we can beat this. Like, there's a challenge here to do it. I want to see if I can beat this. And like, this has got that same kind of. It's not the same as the mind in in kind of replayability and stuff. But this is one of those games where you're like, oh yeah, we failed. Let's see how we can do this. How we can achieve this. And yeah, so I think it's definitely got a lot of replayability in there. Yeah. The order of those cards coming out would be different every time you play.
But also, like, thinking on it, I think we kind of made a bit of a mistake because the first like set of cards you get quite a high burn value, right? And then like after that all the values are a lot lower. But I think because we didn't really realise how it was going to go, we're just chucking anything on the fire. And we were always going for the higher burn values, but I think really you need to like eke them out throughout the round.
Yeah, this is definitely one of those games that you play like once or twice, and then by that time you've all got a general idea of what kind of values you should be putting on that fire, and just being a bit more strategic with your dumping of kindling and stuff. But it was quite. I thought the game was quite. The theme worked pretty well.
Agreed.
You felt like this fire source was dwindling. Every round the stuff was going, and when we got the first the dwindling fire card come out, we were like, oh, that's a 0. And it takes out, it really was like, and the fire did eke out, didn't it? Because we started with quite high numbers, and I think we got up to like 10 at one point. And then near the end there was like 1, 2, and then game over.
Yeah, I would say that as soon as the frostbite cards started coming out, we were gone pretty quickly after that.
And I'm not sure whether that's just because the ones we got out had very high values on them.
I think by that stage though, we didn't have great cards to play.
That goes with 3. We had a 7, a 6, and a 7. So yeah, on the frostbite cards themselves, they have a value at the top. This one being a 3. And if the heat of the fire is that much at the beginning of your turn, you get rid of that frostbite card. But we had ones with like 6s and 7s. There's no way at that point we could kind of get rid of that.
At that point, no.
No. So yeah, you enjoyed the game?
Yeah, I did. Like I say, I'd like to play that again and see whether we could play a little bit better.
Yeah, so this is like, as a first impression video, it's a good sign that like shows in particular wants to come up and play this. I think like there's only been a few games we've ever played where we've gone, never that again. Which we won't mention now. The main one that comes to mind is we played in the Warsaw Asgard Gaming, which was that Winston game about the dogs. And it's completely gone from Chase's mind because she's blocked it out.
Winston, the one with the body parts.
Yeah.
I didn't mind that one.
Didn't you?
No.
There was one.
I do remember one that we played where
Shh. Don't say it.
Okay.
Don't tell people. I'm not allowed to know.
Don't you review board games?
Huh? Yeah, but you know, it's fine. It's fine.
Fair enough.
So yeah, there are obviously games we do play where we're like, oh god, this is tough.
There have been a few as well that we just didn't finish.
Didn't click for us as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. But overall, I think this is a game that definitely clicked. And I'm happy we've got this to try again.
Yeah.
I think this is another game that during lockdown is would be quite a good one to play for a game night if you are able to have friends over.
I'm sorry, what?
Friends?
That doesn't happen anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, and also there's a solo mode to this as well, so you could play this on your own. And if you do need to keep the fire on, you can just chuck these cards in, and they'll help you out if you're in the coldest night. Yeah. Anything else you'd like to say about this, positive or negative?
No, I don't think so.
I think I'm pretty much done with it.
Yeah.
I think overall, I think we both really enjoyed this game. It was fun, thematic, and easy to learn.
It was quite straightforward, and yeah, there wasn't like a huge amount of depth to it, but I think that was quite okay for it, really, wasn't it?
And the last game we played was that Mei Xiao game, and that was like a similar thing where it's quite simple card mechanics. You play one, you discard one. And like I think card games are always a little off-putting because you're worried there's going to be a lot of iconography or it's going to be very tricky and stuff. For me anyway, but both this and that previous game we played were very straightforward with your approach to it. But yeah, really fun game. So shows is it a buy, play or avoid for you? First impressions.
Well, like I've already said, I'd play that again. So yeah, and I would recommend it because I think it's quite straightforward and quite easy to play. Yeah. Like I said, I think you could get into it. I do want to see whether we could beat it or not.
Yeah. From my perspective, I think this is probably a buy for me because it's not anything I've got, and it's definitely something you could get out for if we have a time in our lives where there's ever game nights again. This is definitely one you get out. If we had like your uni friends over. And like it's definitely one we could play with them. It's something I'd buy a friend for like their birthday and go, oh, here's a fun game you can play in the evening. And
it's also like it's very quick as well, so if people didn't really get on with it, then it's done in like 20 minutes or something. So
unlike like some of these games where you could be there for like an hour and a half and be like, oh.
We didn't spend a lot of time like setting up or even putting away or with like explaining the rules, so that's always a bonus. Yeah. So
cool. Well, that's about all we can really waffle on about for this game now. I'm sure we could waffle more, but you don't want to hear that. So, yeah, if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe to our various social medias. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, and of course, YouTube. If you've played this game before and you like it, then please leave us some comments below. If you play this game and you didn't like it, same again. And if we've been playing this wrong and you know that, then obviously leave comments so I can put it in a mistakes were made section below. Do you want to do the sign off?
No.
Well, there we go. So until next time, guys, please stay safe and keep rolling.